Hey, it's Michelle Butt, and it's time for another Fun Fact Friday. And today I thought I'd revisit a concept we may have talked about in a Fun Fact Friday from previous Fridays, but I thought it would be very fitting since we're still just about halfway through this brand new year, and January is usually all about thinking about setting goals and New Year's resolutions, etc., etc. And so if you're like me, you're well into your process, you're either doing pretty good or you've struggled a little bit, or maybe you're getting a little frustrated, or maybe you've even done some of that big, ugly word, procrastinating. And if you have been procrastinating, what's really interesting to note, especially from a facial intelligence perspective, is why that might be, and the reason you procrastinate may be very different from the reason I procrastinate. And when you can understand that and know that your face has something to tell you about how and why you choose to procrastinate on things, then you can look for the right solution to help you break that procrastination habit. So, for example, if you're very sagey like me, so lots of features that indicate strong sage aspects to your personality, so things like dark shadowing under the eyes, prominent chin, some domed forehead, then chances are you may procrastinate often because if the task at hand is too rigid and there isn't enough flow or freedom in it, then it's going to be harder for you to get to it because it doesn't feel natural to go A, B, C, D for you. You like to go A, Z, 3, 8 to get things done. And also, one of the very strong sage emotions is fear. So whenever you're coming up against something new for you, whether it's a new procedure, a new experience, a new task, if you are fearful about it, then if you put it off, then you put off actually all those things that are making you feel fear coming to the forefront and actually dealing with them. If you are one of the other archetypes, so for example, if you're very captivator, so you've got bright sparkly eyes, dimples, freckles, curly hair, then potentially you procrastinate because the task or thing to do at hand is not feeling like fun to you. So if you have to do something and it feels mundane or it feels repetitive and it's not fun and it doesn't create joy, or you're not in the spotlight around it, then chances are you'll put off doing it. So very much two very different approaches to putting something off, but the solutions for that for each archetype, not just these two, are different for each one. And so potentially what we'll do is next week on next Fun Fact Friday, because we're taking a little bit longer here, I will give you some solutions on how to stop procrastinating depending on which archetype you are. And we've talked about these two here, so maybe we'll talk about these two next week. And if you aren't those archetypes, then you know how to find me to find out a little bit more about how to stop procrastinating yourself or why you do it. And I think it's going to be fun, and maybe, who knows, maybe you might just stop putting some things off and start actually getting to things in a way that you never thought of before. So until next week, I'm Michelle Butt. I will see you next Friday. Bye for now.